Okay, time to get back on my bike here a little bit. Need to move it off the rack, so need to get the rear wheel back onto it. It's missing something, doesn't roll very good on one wheel. So this is the rear wheel, I'll get it all cleaned up. Nice and polished, got the rotors polished up, and pulley, all that stuff also. So I need to put a new tire on it. This one obviously is old, so I'm going to put on a new one. I'm going to go ahead and spoon it off here with my tire irons. See what I'm going to put on here. There we go. Show a little bit what I do, I guess. This is how you do it at home or at work. Good rubber hammer, tire hammer, big tire irons. These you can't buy no more. These you still can. These are off the semi-truck. Truck shops have these ones. They're a little bigger. A little bit big for motorcycles, but they work. Alright. Have to throw them in a little bit. Let's see, probably should let the air out. Doesn't hurt to let the air out before you pop the bead. Makes it a lot easier. Bead breaker comes in handy. The tire sticks good. One side down. Takes two sides to do this. Obviously this is nowhere near where it needs to be. And that side's popped. Alright. Being attacked by a wheel tire back here. Put up here so it'll attack me more. Okay. Pull the thing off. At least attempt to pull it off. Old ass hard tire. See how easy it comes off. If you stand on a tire, it might hit you in the head. It's hard right to the end. Now you gotta pull it off. And you don't want your tires to dig into your chrome, so you gotta put cardboard on the back side so you don't tear it up. Tire ender on the back side here. Take the cardboard and stuff it under there, or whatever you got laying around. In this case, more than one layer. Yep, cardboard ain't gonna do nothing for us. Running away. Cardboard fill out. Cardboard doing nothing. No cardboard. And we'll hammer it. There it's out. We don't care about the chrome anyway, so it doesn't matter. Cardboard you want to stay put, screw it. Alright. Put the new tire on it. Blow the crap out of it. Figure out which way it goes on. Yellow dot usually goes on the valve stem. This is the direction of rotation is this way. You got to figure out which way the rim is. A little CRC here makes it slide on easier. It dissipates away later. Shut up. Okay. Big holes are dry side, small holes are the other. These are big holes. Small holes. Got a bunch of lead right here. I'll leave it. Okay, so this is the dry side. Valve stem is usually on the disc side, but you can't always go by that. Okay, so this is a sportster. We're on the disc side, it goes this direction. Where'd the arrow go? Arrow's right here, correct direction. Where's our dot? Dot's way over here. So that's our dot right there. Let's slip it on. Slick. Use your knee to hold it down. Around. Nice and easy. Almost like it's the wrong size. Oh, that's really, really easy. Like no effort at all. Usually that means something wrong. So here's our dot right here. Where our valve stem is. It's good. Okay, let's see if it'll take air. Make sure you pull your core out to get more volume in there. Seal it. Could have got an air leak. Okay. So now we take it. Push the tire in on that side. And put air on it, push it on this side, hoping to grab air. There it goes. One, two. It only took 32 pounds. Keep that for later. Let all the air out. Let the tire kind of center up where it wants to be. Let me put the valve core in it. Wipe off the excess spray lube. Okay. And put on whichever oil you want to put in it. I usually do about 32. It's always a good starting point. If you regress your bike, you probably need more like 36. Remember this, the number on the sidewall is the maximum pressure, not the minimum. You don't have to run maximum pressure. Maximum pressure is not always correct. Okay, take a little wad of spit, make a bubble across the stem, and keep wiping it off. There you go. If there's no bubble coming up, you put the layer of spit across the valve stem. If it doesn't bubble up, it ain't leaking. It ain't leaking. Blow the spit away so it doesn't corrode anything. Put your core on there. Wipe off the excess crap. There you go. All knotted. Take any time at all, do it. Okay, now I gotta do some wheel bearing packing. Could have done that when the tire was off and made it a little easier, but yeah, I won't worry about that now. I also got to put the stuff back on there, the rotor and pulley. We're gonna do the bearings first. So that's the easy part. Okay, keep one tire out for doing that. It's a little bit easier. Okay, some magic goop. Okay, one junk tire. Anybody need a tire? Got one. Just broken in. Ready for a new home. Gotta roll down the street and find one. Not what you're supposed to do. Okay, so I'm gonna repack the hubs, check them out. Some old paper to use to clean up the grease. Everybody said I scraped the hell on my wheel. No new scrapes. Same marks are always already in here. I didn't do all those. Same crappy ass chromey marks. I didn't do it. These are not tire marks, these are flaky chrome marks. See, no scratches. My tires do not destroy the rim. That's because I know how to use them. And I also keep them nice and deburred so they're not sharp. They're radiused so they don't dig in. If you know how to work on your tools, you don't cause problems usually. That doesn't mean I never leave a mark. Sometimes I do. But not this time. Okay, so we need to take this apart, see what's going on in here. Okay, this is this side. In case they're different, make sure you know where they're at. Take your tire in. Damn, that is in there. The tire doesn't work very good because it's not sharp enough edge. The old seal came out. So this tire doesn't work very good for getting seals out. We'll do something different. Big screwdriver. Okay. Appears to be new grease. Not even broken in yet. No reason to clean it off. There's nothing wrong. No contamination in there. Nothing. We do need a new seal though. That one's kind of used. Okay, you look inside of the bearing race. Make sure it looks pretty good in there also. Appears to be nice and clean and good in there. Once again, it's got really nice clean grease. So this bike obviously didn't have a lot of miles on these wheel bearings. It only had 8,000 on the whole bike, so doesn't look like that much on anything else either. Okay, I need some seals. There's one. Other seals, early stuff. I don't have the year I want. Let's see, Tucker 72 seals, not the right one. Nope, not that one either. Nope. No seals. Not too much crap here, do I? Bearings. Nope. Wheel bearing seals. Where's the wheel seals at? Yeah, one of these boxes. That ain't it. Nope. One of these boxes has seals on it. Got seals, not the right one. Main shaft seals. There we go. Yep, caliper rebuild kit. In the right area. There we go, 84. Nope, that's 58. Oh, where is that seal? Yeah, that's the fat one. Wrong seal. Okay, took her out of seals. Damn it. I know I got more someplace. We have more somewhere. '83A seal. I know we had some somewhere. These might be it. These might be the only one now. Should be an 84 number, I thought. Yeah, we'll see. It's in the hole. Yeah, it looks like the right seal. It's tight. That's a good sign. Okay, new seals. See, I got new seals. I wasn't worried at all. Okay, we need some grease in here. We'll We'll get some new high performance blue grease. Blue grease. Kind of black though. So just put a nice good layer in there. One lap around the bearing race is all you need. And you take this, and just put a little bit on there just for the hell of it. Just so I feel important. Drop it back in the hole. Okay, theoretically that's all you need for grease. Except on my hands. So we lubricate all the surface that matters. What I like to do is put a little extra in there. So we take a little wad of it here. And I just put it in there like that. Just fill in the fillet. Don't pack it solid, just put a nice little layer in there. No, nothing serious in there. Nothing else, it'll keep the water and dirt from getting in the bearing, because if you got a layer of grease on top of the bearing, it can't go into the bearing. When you just have the minimum amount of grease in there, then you can get inside of it. Alright, there you go. You can get the outside lubed up. Okay, now we're going to lube up our seal a little bit. Don't like dry seals. Okay, we should be able to tap it in there. One place I use my large mallet. Just go down until it's flush, no extra. Off the crop. Get our spacer. Boom. Done on that side. Okay. Now what I'm going to do now is check the in play. See what we got. So to check the in play, cover up the grease so it doesn't get any crap inside your container. I take a front axle with a bunch of spacers. You put it between the two bearings and tighten it down. Now you have to have the correct axle in there, otherwise the sinking bearings might not be quite concentric to each other or parallel to each other. They might be like that and give you a false reading. When you put the axle through this 3/4 that matches the bearing, it'll center up the bearings so everything goes straight and parallel to each other. So you get a true reading. Otherwise there can be an error. So the front axle will work on the rear. See, just enough to stick out. Take our washer and our nut. Tighten it up in your hand a little bit. And you can feel the end play. Hear it? So that's factory mount in there. You can tighten it up a couple thou if you want. It's good enough for the rear wheel. Probably get about 5 thou in there. You're allowed up to 17. Alright, that one's done. So now, take out the dirty one. Wipe off the scum. We pull out this seal. I'm going to use our screwdriver. See, this one didn't destroy it as bad. It's Still bad though. If you get too narrow of a blade, you're going to put a crease or a cut inside your hub there. So you want to make sure you have a big enough blade. Spread that load out a little bit. Okay, now this side. Ooh, there's a shim pack on this one. We can actually pull shims out. Look at that. It's a late model wheel. I'm not used to late model parts. Okay, this grease here, you see it's a little bit dirtier. So I'm going to wipe off the dirty stuff. It's not dirty enough that I need to clean all the grease out of it, just wipe off the crap. We'll put new stuff on that one. And we wipe out the hub over here, it's got a bunch of grease on that. Damn it. It's hard to do this with dirty, greasy hands. I don't want my camera greasy. Alright. So you can see where the shim kit goes right there. So it looks like there's only one big ass shim. Nope, nope, there's a small one. There you go, there's one little dinky one. See that little small one? We'll measure that and probably pull it. Okay. So you see how the grease is a little bit dirty, but not too bad in there. Wipe it out. See, let the wheel spin, helps you. Okay, see I got most all of it out of there. Not 100%, but good enough. Trash. Okay. Pull out our napkin over here. This is Kleenex. Take out the rest of it. There you go. Nice and clean now. Okay, I'm going to measure that shim over there and see how thick it is. Now, whatever your inplay is, do not take out that much washer because Timkins are on an angle, the bearings. If you take one thou out of here, it does more than one thou takeout. So it's more like about a 3-to-1 ratio, I think. So every thou you take out, you lose about 4. So even though this is a really thin shim, it might be too much. It probably is. Let's see what we got here. This is a 2 thou shim. I don't know if you can read that, but that's what it is. That'll take out probably 5 thou at least. This might be too much, but we'll try it. Okay, so I'm going to put it in with no grease on this side. Take the shim pack and put it back in there. Axle in there. Okay. Spacer. See, I put the spacer on that side, so I have to put it on this side now. Still got inplay in it, so I'm good. Feels about the same. When you take out grease, it allows the clearance to be more felt. When you got a bunch of grease in there, you don't feel the clearances all the time. Okay. Screwdriver. Okay, how's that? We only got a thick shim left. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I bet you if I do that again, it'd be too much. So I'm gonna leave it. In case you don't know how that goes, the titty goes up, so it goes inside the bearing here. So the bearing doesn't get tight. If you put it upside down like this, the cage will rub on there and eat it up. That's why it goes in like that. Except when it falls in upside down. There you go. Use a screwdriver to keep it from flipping over. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and goop up this one. Same thing we just did before. A nice layer in there. This time we're going to have to put more on here because we wiped off a lot. The grease is still on the inside of the bearing. We didn't change the grease on the inside. It'll change itself as it works. Okay, it's a fresh layer. So the old stuff will work itself out of the bearing because we're putting new stuff in there on the surface that matters. I'm going to goop up our fillet area there. Okay. I always put the grease back in a container that's clean because I'm cheap. It also keeps the mess down. Now my finger's not so dirty, which means my rag's not so dirty. Of course I'll be back in there in a minute to put the seal in because I didn't grease the seal up. I had to clean my finger to get the seal out. Let's see, we got one seal or two seals left. I got two left in there. I only want one. Okay, there's our new seal. Some grease on there. Wipe off the excess grease. Your hammer don't get so full of it. And where's our spacer that we had? This one. Oh. Always make sure the spacer is above the seal left or you'll have a problem with the seal. Okay, so there's our wheel all rebuilt, re-shimmed, and ready to go. So now I got to put on the rotor and the pulley, and then I got to balance it. So I'm gonna get all cleaned up, and we'll be back. Okay, got all my stuff gathered up here. So we got the rear rotor, rear pulley. We got the hardware here. We're gonna use red Loctite to hold the hardware on. And we're going to use our 1/2-inch zip gun to tighten the hardware down because a 1/2-inch zip gun has a lot more balls than 3/8 does. So you don't want to torque them super tight, but you want to have them pulled in good. And with a Torx head, you want to get in there quick, get the job done, and get the hell out of there. So that's why I used a 1/2-inch. 1 or 2 hits, it's free, versus a little small when you beat on it for a half hour. Just tears up stuff and breaks it. It's like getting a bigger hammer. Gets more work done. Okay, so this here is the rotor side, which would be this piece here. This takes the big bolts. We took all this stuff off so you can get up in here and polish all this stuff. all this hidden chrome. Ben did all the polishing on the bike. You've seen him working off and on in the playlist before this. So he did a good job of polishing up all the dirty chrome and paint and stuff. You can put a little color over here where it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to just be a crappy machine finish. He even buffed it so there's a little shine to it. Okay. Next, you want to make sure you pull it down kind of even and torque it. Star pattern. And just force it all the way on one side to do damage. Give it 2 hits. It didn't move. Okay, if you want to put a torque wrench on there, feel free. It's tight. I know my tools, so I don't have to look, check them. If in doubt, do what you want. Okay. So now I'm going to flip this over. Polish surface, put towel down, or better yet, cardboard. You got a cardboard right here. Okay, here's our fancy ass floating rotor. So he buffed it on the inside and the outside, so you can see it pretty good. So not much wear on this thing because once again it's only got 8,300 miles on it. I don't know if this had a kind of spacer on here or not. Hard to tell. I don't think they did. See how it's dirty through here? These spots are all dirty. It's got a little dirt inside the hub there. That's all open. See how it matches? See the circle? Right there. Right on the edge of the circle is dirty, see? Same over here. You can see where it's clean. Right here. Right there on the edge of the clean. That's where the bolts are at. So this is how they had open, so you can see the inside there. Look real, real pretty. Harley don't care. Okay. Stock Torx head. Bolts. Same deal. Run them in slow and then give them a couple zaps and you're done. Jeez. You're bothering me at 10 o'clock at night? Of course, they know I'm here. Hello. Yes. All right. Mm-hmm. 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 Where's it located at? In the back or under the crank? Is it under the... part of the case sticking through the frame. That's an oil gallery plug. It's an oil gallery plug. It's a drill hole plug. Gallery plug. Only 1/8 inch pipe thread. It's a little small dinky one. Correct? Yep. Plug. Yep, don't screw with it. You won't get that out. What do you mean what? Don't screw with it. That's what you do. Don't screw with it. Yes, that means don't screw with it. Unless you want to screw it all up. But more than likely you're not ever going to get it out because they don't come out. Yep. Yeah, it's not a drain, so don't drain it. Drain what out? Out of what? No shit. Good. What are you working on? Motor? Tranny? Primary? You don't drain the motor all out. Change the oil tank, it's a dry sub system. Put oil in the tank, you're done. Yep, that's how you do it. Okay. Alright, I'm back. Alright. Have to pull it out because the Loctite is biting real hard. Let me make sure the hole's clean. Then when you go down, you got a true torque. So you hit once, one more time. It's all the way in. See how it's tight. Never had them like this before, they won't go all the way back down. Alright. Play hell getting that out with a 3/8 drive. These are pretty tight. Not tight to the rotor, but tight on the Loctite on the threads. So I'll try to put it where you can see the screw over here. Screw it. See, watch your heads right here. The screw, you can see what it's doing over here. See, I just want to go. Unscrew it. Get it cleaned out. Get the thread started again. Never zip a gun in there. It'll cross thread on you maybe. See, it hit the rotor that time. Back it off. Come back, do it again. This time it'll be full torque. See, that's all the way down. One more, you're in. Alright. That's a pain in the butt. Okay. Now the phone question there was on a 77 to a 90 Sportster. On the bottom of the case is a little pipe plug, a little 1/8 inch pipe plug on the right side of the case. It's an oil gallery plug. You don't never pull it out. That's where they drill the hole up through the case for the oil sump system. It's not a drain. So on a Harley, all Harleys are dry sump system. That means the oil is supposed to be in a tank, not in the motor. So you never, when you change the oil, you don't drain out the motor, you drain out the oil tank. That's because that's how it's done. It ain't like a car. So don't worry about the oil in the motor. If you do want to get the oil out of the motor, pull the return line off, put it in a pan, put oil in the motor, start it up and run it until you see clean oil. Then put the oil back on, put it back together. You'll waste about a quart of oil doing that. If you want to completely drain the system out, that's how you do it. So don't waste time doing any other way. That's all you do. Okay, so we got this all in there tight. A little bit of a pain in the butt, but that's normal. Okay, so now we can go balance this thing. So Remember I left those weights on there because I don't know exactly what we need. California don't like lead no more, so it's hard to get lead weights. We got lead weights on here right now. I don't like zinc weights or steel weights. I like lead. Okay, roll that. Pretty good, huh? All right, so we come over here. Camera out of my way. Okay, this is our wheel balancing facility. It's called stool and rack. And one rear axle, long one, with round space on that side, a round space on this side, so you got a nice surface to sit on. Now you have to level out the rack and the two here so it's flat. Okay, it's pretty flat. Doesn't have to be perfect, but close helps. Okay, move the stool out a little bit. Okay, you put this on your wheel. Of course, the damn stool wants to eat on you. Okay. You gotta make sure you push the Timken bearings together so the wheel comes up on the center. Okay, then you just rotate the axle slightly. You jiggle it. That's what you're doing. And the wheel will go where it wants to go. See how it's pretty much not moving? Did we luck out and get the heavy spot? Or was it balanced all the way around? So rotate it 90 degrees. Make sure the bearings are all the way in again. You know, so the wheel's balanced again. So this wheel's balanced. That's why I left the weights on there. Most modern tires are built balanced. They're pretty damn close. You don't usually need weights. The only weight you need for is the rim. And all the other crap on the motor. All the other stuff, which is your rotors and all that. Most rotors and stuff are made balanced pretty evenly, so they don't really add too much difference in weight. So the only real difference in weight here is our wheel, because that's casted, and it can be all over the place in the weight. So all of those weights that were on the wheel, whichever side they're on, I think they're on this side. There they are, they're over there. Or is to compensate for the way the wheel's machined, not for the tire change. So there you go. See, all you do is just wiggle this a little bit here, like this. Just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. You know, so the wheel does not move. Now what the wiggling does, it takes the load off the bearing so it's free to move if it wants to. So you can see how this thing does not want to move. So there you go. So it's balanced. That was quick and simple. Now if I took all those weights off, I'd have to put them all back on. So that's why I didn't do it. It helps to know what you're doing when you're playing with this stuff. Alright, we'll be back.